That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast. I don't know why Lily's laughing already right away. You know why? Because I was sitting here in silence, and she can never understand how I can just go ahead and leap right into character with you folks. Because I don't know if you know this. If you don't, you know me during the day. If you ever see me when I'm not around, when I'm not doing a show, and there's not an open microphone, I don't say a word. I'm completely silent. I sit there and I stare into the distance. I don't do anything. I'm like fucking Rain Man. That's what I am. I'm just counting matches on the floor, waiting for a fucking open microphone to happen by so I can turn it on for you folks. So I can unleash the head full of bees and let you guys know that you're about to get fucking stung by a million words a minute. But when that's not happening, the bees go right back into their hive, and I just sit here and I have brain honey drain down my throat as I wait to go ahead and find an open microphone and talk to you folks. I wish that would be the greatest, but instead I'm constantly buzzing. I'm humming, folks. Like I just told Lily, because Lily's got this awesome idea, and so I started to spit out a bunch of ideas with it. Because that's, folks, I'm an idea man, Chuck. All right, you know what? Here's what we do: we get mayonnaise and we feed it to the tuna fish. Hey kid, you like music? Nah, 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 nah. God damn it! How great is that movie, and how great is that part? You're gonna play tennis with God. Oh, I love it. Hey, this is echoing. Am I too loud? No? Yes?
You're always too loud.
You're writing stuff. You're drawing pictures. You're like not even paying attention.
What you just said to me, because it made me laugh really hard.
Lily has like a really fun idea, and David will tell you this. Max will tell you. I'll sit with him, and he'll be like, "Dude, we got to do this." And I'll go, "Well, here's like 90 things that are fucking awesome. All right, you do that. I'm gonna leave." And then I'll walk away, and then David does all the work over the next like fucking 10 weeks. But I was able to go ahead and just spit out a bunch of shit because I'm an idea man, Chuck. That's who I am, and to the point where here's how sad it is. I used to walk around with a recorder. Like I used to walk around with an actual micro cassette recorder, and I will tell you this. All right, let me throw this out there to you folks. This could be embarrassing, but it could be. Actually, I have no money to offer, so I guess this isn't really a great idea. If I had money in the old days when I had money, this would have been a perfect idea. But I can tell you right now, it is not a good idea at all. But who cares? I'll throw it out there anyway, folks. I have easily, I'm going to say 30 micro cassettes with material that I've never listened to. Like I don't even know what's on them. Like I said, I have huge crates of videotapes where I don't know what's on them. It's like a YouTube treasure trove. Well, I actually have these old microcassettes in my head. Here's what I used to do, folks. And I could show you these and you would just lose your fucking mind. I used to keep the recorder and I would record all the time. When I'd think of a bit, I'd be in the car and I'd pick it up and it was just, this is Chuck to remind Bill to shut up. Like I would say it all the time and come up with jokes, and I would have it on these microcassettes. And then they would stack up. And as you know, I'm not exactly, what's the word I'm looking for? Diligent. In that I like to come up with stuff, and again I walk away and because back then David was not there to clean up all my messes. I didn't have a really awesome friend like David Hernandez who would step up and do all the work for me. So I would like record into these microcassettes, and here's what I would have to do. I would spend so many lonely nights in hotel rooms when I wasn't trolling for pussy in the fucking the hotel bar. All right, let's put it this way: after I wound up striking out at the hotel bar and not meeting any girls. This is before I started, literally, because when I first started to go on the road and do stuff, I would actually be looking for girls. But then, when I met Karen and I couldn't do that, what I would do is I would just get bags of food and go to my room and sit there and do nothing. But also, I would have these microcassettes, and I can't tell you how many hours I would sit. Well, I mean, I could just show you the notes. You would see I would have to transcribe these microcassettes. Now, there's 60 minutes, but imagine 60 minutes, but in 30-second bites, I was coming up with material. So I would have to sit down, and I still have the notebooks. And it looks like the scrawlings of John Doe from Seven. I mean, it is just these, because I tried to fit everything into the margins and write as much as I possibly could. And there would be stuff where I would not have any idea what it meant, but I didn't care. I would just write it down to make sure that I had. And I've often thought that I should go back and revisit that stuff and see if there's anything that's usable. There's not. There can't possibly be, because it was a different time in my life. No, there's no way. Because I wasn't doing, you know why? Because I wasn't doing personal anecdotes. I was writing topical stuff. So it's funny. My friend Russ McGarry, who is he hosts the Now Hear This podcast, which is very famous, and you should go ahead and download it this second. Now Hear This is their podcast, and Russ McGarry and I were talking about how he's always wanted to do this thing where he would get a club here in Los Angeles and get all of the old Chicago comics together to do their old acts at like an open mic. Like all of us took over an open mic, and then we would just go up and without telling anybody what we were doing, we would all have to go up and do our old acts from like the 80s or the 90s when we were doing stand-up. And it's funny, on the Now Hear This podcast, Russ actually put up an old clip of himself doing his older act. Because the guys on there, like his buddies don't know him as a comic. They know him as he's a producer and he's a jogger and whatever the fuck else he does with his life these days. How funny is that? He's a producer and a jogger. Let me tell you something. That is a business card that will catch your eye, folks. Wait, you produce and you jog? In that order? Sometimes I produce while I jog. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously. I can hold it down on a trail the whole time I'm putting together a show. What the fuck? That makes no sense. Why is my guy so outraged that he's swearing all the time? I don't know who's that surprised by the revelation that you can produce and jog, or jog and produce. So Russ wanted to take over a club, and all of us would go there and do our old acts and not betray once to the audience why we were doing our old, like and again, every dated reference, everything that you had to do. It's a great idea. It was something we always talked about because I think Paul Gilmartin and his wife, they had old tape night, where comics would all come over and they'd get pizzas or whatever, and then they'd put on their old demo tapes and everybody would watch them and laugh uproariously. And I missed out on that, thankfully, because again, my old demo tapes are grim. I mean, they are so fucking bad. I told you there's one because we were talking about it when I was in Portland. Because that's where Russ lives now. So we're in the car and it was me, Siegel, Goebel, and Russ, and we're driving around, and he's bringing up that idea about all of us doing our acts, and I go, the thing is, I would be so bad at that. I would be worse than anybody else because, again, I never talked about my life. I didn't talk about anything personal. I didn't talk any personal anecdotes. Everything I did was topical. So I would be there, and I'd be talking. I said to him, I'd be doing jokes about the first World Trade Center bombing. Literally, not even... Not the fucking planes in Muhammad Atta. No, the fucking clerics and the bomb in the parking garage, like that stuff. Because I could probably still even do those bits about how no, actually I don't even want to. Forget it. I'm not gonna bore you. I remember one of the punchlines I had was they've narrowed it down. It was either these clerics or it was Wile E. Coyote passing out cigars. I remember it was that. It was something like that. And I killed it. Oh my God, did I kill it, folks? Go check out the Now Hear This podcast. They're playing an old clip of me right now. What if Russ did that? What if his whole podcast was just old clips of Chicago comics? What if he dug them up? God damn, that'd be fucking genius, as long as I wasn't involved. So he was saying that, our old demo tapes, and I go, dude, I would be terrible because all my stuff is topical. And I have these old tapes. Because I told him I know for sure, like my first demo tape ever was taped at the Laugh Stop in Newport Beach. I think I talked about that on here. I'm wearing purple and black Zubas, and a Run DMC sweatshirt. And I think a jean jacket with fringe on it. And a mullet, like a mullet that would frighten you. A mullet that would go all the way down. Did I put the picture of the mullet on Facebook? I think I did, man. Just crazy long. I mean, really long and curly. Because my hair was like super curly. Crazy. Oh my God, what a mullet. What a fucking, maybe the mullet. Honestly, I may have been the defining mullet of the era. Me and Billy Ray Cyrus, we may have had the defining mullets of the era that I'm talking about. That's probably not true. And I fake gum chew all through this one demo. And there's another demo of me, like, yeah, I had this affectation where I would do a joke and I would go, and I would fake chew gum on stage during my act. It was so bad. And then there's another demo of me wearing a Batman shirt, just like with the Batman logo on it. It was probably from 89 or 90.
That's topical again.
Oh, sure it is. It came back around. And then I have another tape. I tried to make a demo tape to get club work, and I taped myself in Fargo, North Dakota. And I had my silk jacket on, and this is when I had super long hair. And it's really funny because I had asked the headliner. There was a headliner named Ron Osborne. I think I told this story on here. The headliner was Ron Osborne, and I go, hey, Ron, I got to ask you a favor. Because it was a two-man show. I have to go up on stage cold and then do my act, and then I bring up Ron. So I said, Ron, I got to ask you a favor. I'm taping today. So can you do me a favor and just bring me up? I mean, I would love for you to go on stage and introduce me and bring me up, but if you can do a voiceover, that'd be fine. And he said, no, because it's important to me that it's important to my act that the audience see me right when I arrive and they know that I'm the headliner right from the second I show up. And I was like, thanks, Ron. You're awesome. By the way, Ron Osborne's still working. You can Google him and find him. Because I actually did, I think a year ago, I found his name and I was like, you're fucking joking. And he's done a ton of commercials. He's very popular. But I can tell you this, he's a headliner from the second he takes the stage because he refuses to go up and help anybody out. Just a fucking cunt. All right, so the tape from Fargo, I go up cold, and then I taped both shows. I taped the early show and the late show, and the early show was okay. And I had my fucking White Sox hat on and a silk jacket and I had my gold and black Zubas on that day. I wore my good Zubas for that tape. Couldn't wear the purple ones. I had the gold and black ones. They were my favorite pants. They looked like genie pants, not baggy like genie pants, but I mean the pattern on them looked like you would find on a rug that flew. Literally, it looks like I just fucking climbed out of a bottle to do the show. It's so fucking bad. So then I do the late show, and the late show's terrible. Like, they fucking hate me. So halfway through the show, I go, well, fuck this, and I take my hat off, and all my hair falls, like all of it. And then, of course, they immediately think that's the funniest thing they've ever seen in their life. And I'm just like, really? That's it? Because it was a different haircut than they had ever seen, I suppose, in Fargo. But it was just, I was so over it. And it was so funny. I didn't have to take my head off, but for me, it was a small victory to just say, fuck this tape and fuck everything. This is the point where I gave up. And I take my head off and I hang it on the microphone stand and I fucking like flap my hair and it just fucking falls in my eyes and everybody's just like, oh my God. And then it looked like that was a bit. I'm like, no, it's not a bit. I'm just fucking hating you people enough to where I'm going to go ahead and be who I want to be at this point. I won't fucking hide under a hat. I'll be me. And then it was just terrible the rest of the time. Why am I telling anybody this story? Nobody cares.
Everybody.
Sure they do. Everybody cares about the fucking failures of my past. So how did I even get into that story? I don't know. We just started talking, right? My point is that Lily and I were sitting here talking about ideas, and I gave her like I just had a bunch of like great ideas, and then I ran away because I just didn't have to. I'm like, yeah, here, do this and this and this and this and this, and then okay, tell me how it turns out, and I get to go away. That's fucking awesome. There's nothing better than being that guy, the guy who just spits out a bunch of shit and then leaves. I want to be hired as that guy for any company at all. Hire me to just be an idea man. I'll just walk around and just spit out fucking ideas for you to go ahead and implement, and then we'll see if they work. And if they don't work, you don't, you know what you do? You come to me and I give you more ideas. That's perfect. That's all I want to do. I want to take no responsibility for my ideas. I just want to give you ideas and see you do something with them, and then I'll collect half. That's my fee. Just half the money. That's fair, right? I came up with the idea, now I'll split it with you. I'm Johnny Idea Seed. I just go all over the country. I spread my ideas, and when they come to fruition, I take half. It's perfect. I'll eat half your apples, America. All right. So I came up with good ideas for Lily. I was very proud of that. It's a very productive day, which I need because I'm doing a lot of that non-productive stuff. I'm doing a lot of that sitting in a dark apartment stuff, which is it's bad. Although I will tell you this, here's something you should not do any longer because I'm alone in my house now. So, and I think I told you I've started to wear my earbuds in my house, my tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds. Did I tell that story on here, or did I just tell you, Lily?
I think you only told me.
Oh, okay. So I've been wearing my earbuds in my house because I could listen to. All right. Here, this is way too much fucking explanation for this nothing story or anecdote. I have two different sets of iTunes. I have the iTunes on my desktop computer. Desktop? What did I say? Desktop? I have the iTunes on my desktop computer, and that was Karen's iTunes. She used all of her phone and her iPod and all that stuff. She charged all of those via the desktop computer. However, I have my laptop iTunes, and that has everything that's on the desktop iTunes, and it also has stuff that I bought on my own for me, and that's where my phone and my iPod live. They live inside my laptop. So I could, if I wanted to, in my house, just play, because I also have awesome speakers on my computer. My desktop computer has really good speakers. So usually what I'll do is I'll play music on the desktop computer, and I'll crank the speakers up. But it doesn't have all of my songs. Again, my iTunes lives on my laptop, so sometimes I want to hear the stuff from my iTunes because I've made playlists and mixes, and so I want to hear those. So, and God damn it, see, this isn't worth it, but I'm telling you, I will now. I've started around my house. I've started wearing I use my iPod around the house, and I'll wear my earbuds. Well, the people at tweakedaudio.com/40 are very nice, and they've sent me earbuds, and they've been very cool. So I'll wear their earbuds around my house. So I'm in my house the other day, and I'm cleaning a shelf because I'm also in that mode where I'm starting to realize that, this is my house, at least for now, at least for the next month or two when I can pay the rent. So I need to kind of do stuff because Karen took some stuff and left these like empty spaces, and then I have too much stuff on one shelf and nothing on another shelf. And then part of me is like, you know what, you got to, dude, this is your house, man. You got to take some ownership, and you got to vacuum. And I cleaned a bathroom 2 weeks ago. I cleaned a bathroom for the first time in 15 years. I cleaned a bathroom, which probably explains why I'm cleaning the bathroom now. I would think, really, when you think about it. Actually, I guess when you put it in context, yeah, the fact that I'm cleaning the bathroom for the first time in 15 years, that's probably explaining why I'm doing it. All right, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, folks. So I'm finding myself doing that, doing laundry and she cleaned out her half of the closet, so I had to put my stuff over on that side and move my shoes and whatever the fuck. You don't care. But it's just busy work to keep myself from sitting around and staring. So I'm doing it while wearing my iPod. And I had my tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds in my ears. And and these are the ones I use for my show, okay? Because I will tell you this, Tweak sent me, this is like 6 months ago. Didn't they send us, what did they send us, like 10 pairs? And we gave them away. I gave some to Lily and to Eddie, and Karen had a couple pairs, and then we gave some to the people at the Monday Night Teas. We did that. So I only have like one pair at my house. And it's the ones I use to come here and broadcast to you guys because I'll mention I forgot my earbuds, whatever the fuck. I wear earbuds when I talk to you. That's what I do. I have to because I need to hear myself. It's stupid, but I do. So I'm wearing them at my house the other day, and I'm cleaning off a shelf. And I in my head, I turned, and I accidentally yanked my earbuds out of my ears because it got caught on a doorknob. Because the cord hangs. I have the iPod in my pocket, and then the earbuds trail down, and the cord, as I turned one way, and the doorknob yanked them, like really pulled them forcibly out of my ears. And I was like, whoa. I threw them back, and I go, dude, you should stop this because this is your only pair of earbuds, and if you do something to these, you're going to be pissed. And then in my head, I'm like, well, fuck it. Who cares? That's not going to happen. So I'm not even joking. I swear to God, I'm not even joking. 15 minutes later, still cleaning off the shelf, separating the shelves, putting all the, I have the hair gel on one shelf. I have toothpaste over here, and I'm sorting. And I go into I had these little bottles. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm telling you this story. When I travel, I have little bottles that I'll fill with hair gel or conditioner and that, so that I don't have to bring the bigger bottle, and it's whatever the fuck because of TSA, and who cares. So I had to clean them out because I hadn't used them in a while, so I had to put scalding hot water in there to boil out the remnants. So I did that, and I kept going to the sink and back to the shelf, to the sink and back to the shelf. So finally on the third pass, I went over to rinse out a bottle, and as I moved, the cord for my earbuds got caught on the lock for the bathroom. Like, not the, how the doorknob has that, all right, if you were going to pick a lock, you slide the credit card into the door jamb, or I got caught on the door jamb. And I was moving, and it didn't yank my earbuds out. Instead, it just tore the cord completely in half. And I looked down, because all of a sudden the music stopped. And because I got hung up, and I tugged, and the music stopped, and I looked down, and it was jammed into the door jamb and wedged in and ripped. It had ripped. It had severed the cords. It looked like, it looked like fucking Franco's arm after he cut it off in that Boulder movie. Like, it's just this fucking meat hanging off of the fucking earbuds, and I'm staring at it, and I was so, dudes. There's nothing worse than doing something could have been prevented. Doing something that you warned yourself about, it's just so fucking ants in the grasshopper. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, da-da-da, who cares? Nothing will ever happen to me. And I even cautioned myself. I go, you know what, dude? This is really your only pair of earbuds. You need you need to do something. And who cares? And I fucking jammed it right and tore him in half. And I'm staring at it. And I can still remember it was Street Fighting Man that was playing. Street Fighting Man by the Rolling Stones is what was playing at the moment, and it just ended abruptly. And I'm staring at it, and I know then that I'm fucked. Like because I have to, I can contact Bruce at Tweaked, and he's always nice, and he'll send me earbuds. But I had a show to do, and I didn't know what the fuck. I was just fucking staring. It was just I don't even know why I'm telling you this. Just to indicate that I'm stupid. So the bottom line is then I freaked out and I lost it. And it turned out Lily had a spare pair here at the house, so she was able to give them to me. So that's what I'm using now. But of course, it hasn't stopped me from wearing my earbuds at the house. So here's this is the whole reason I'm telling you this story. Because I'm sitting in the house and it's dark and I'm up late and I'm by myself and I have my earbuds on and I'm listening to my iPod. And I don't, or here's something that I do, and it's stupid. I sing along with songs. Like, I mean, it's all I can do on a plane to not sing along with certain songs. If a song comes on a plane, I swear to God, I will sit there and I want to sing it so badly. Like, this is where there's a song called Hey Jealousy by the Gin Blossoms. And every time it's on, I want to sing it. To the point where I've been on a plane and I will put my hand to my mouth and it's just the feeling of being able to sing it. I know it sounds stupid, but it's just and I'm not singing it at like Max. Look, I'm not doing a concert on the plane. All right, I'm not. I should, of course, because I can actually sing that song pretty well. I can't sing it all. Max will tell you. Right now, Max is just rolling on the floor laughing. Because I actually because I want to sing so desperately bad, but some songs have to be sung, and like in my car I sing a lot. Well, I'm at home, it's 4 a.m, and I got my earbuds on, and I was singing "Hold On" by Triumph.
Oh wow!
Which is that, and that's all right. That's a hard song to sing also because it's in falsetto, like because Rick Emmett has such a high voice. So I sing it in falsetto, like with a really high pitched thing. Which you shouldn't do if you can't. And I can't sing. I recognize that I can't sing, but I want to sing. And also but it doesn't matter because I'm singing along with the song. All right, so it's not that bad. I hear "Hold On" by Triumph, and I'm singing along with it, which is fine. So I sing the whole fucking song. And again, I'm at my computer. It's 4 a.m, and I'm singing the song, and it's just I'm having a good time by myself. Because you know what? It's my house, goddammit. And I'm not, because I don't have to worry about waking Karen up. So I can do whatever the fuck I want. And if I want to sing "Hold On" by Triumph in my apartment at 4 o'clock in the morning and sing along with the song, then that's fine. I can do it. So it just so happened that song ended. And then the next song was "Wicked Little Town" off of the Hedwig and the Angry Inch soundtrack. Hedwig's version, not the Tommy Gnosis version. But, So it's Hedwig's version. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I got to sing that song, right? So it starts, and I'm singing, and it's like, the sun is in your eyes, and I'm singing it, but it's okay. I'm singing along with the song, and it fucking kicks in, and I hear a noise, like a banging noise, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's like, so I wonder if it's like somebody outside. So I hit pause. And I hear banging. Someone's banging on my front door. It's 4 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm wondering, what the fuck? Are we being evacuated? Is something bad happening? Because again, folks, we're all on alert after what happened in Boston. Which, by the way, I don't even know why that happened in Boston. I have no idea why. Why would you ever do anything to make the people of Boston angry at you? Because you know what? They're angry at you anyway. All right, they're people from Boston. Trust me, they are angry. That is the city I would pick least. Literally, you would think anywhere in Texas and then Boston. Those are the places where you don't want to do stupid things because they will hunt you down. Boston is just, you know what? Boston's not even a city of people. Boston is just like a giant rage Voltron. And they're just waiting for any bad thing to happen so they can vomit violence all over you. Whenever anything bad happens in Boston, the 5 members of House of Pain get together and put their rings together and form a giant fucking Celtics jersey wearing white guy looking for black guys to step on. That's it. So I have no idea why they fucking went after Boston. But again, we're all on alert. So there's banging on my front door after I hit pause, and I walk over to the door, and I have a peephole, but I never use it. So I kind of I open the door, and it's Lou. Our friend Racist Lou, the bartender. And and he's standing there in like a t-shirt and boxer shorts. And I'm like, are you okay? And he goes, you fucking woke me up, Mike. And I said, what? And he goes, you're singing or you're yelling or whatever the fuck you're doing. You got to stop. I can hear you through the fucking wall. Because I had earbuds in, so I'm hearing myself with the song. All Lou is hearing is just my voice, like a cappella, singing Hold On by Triumph in a falsetto. I can't even imagine how awful it must have sounded. Because I can't sing. I mean, I'm terrible. I recognize that I'm terrible, but I can lose myself in the mix, and I enjoy the act of singing. And it's so funny because even in my head, I flashed and I was like, oh, dude, I am so sorry. And he's like, it's okay. It's all right. I know you're up all night and it's fine. I can hear you sometimes when you're late, but I'm telling you, you got to fucking stop singing or yelling or whatever the fuck you're doing because I can hear you through the fucking wall. And he's not kidding because I told you in the past, I've heard him fucking girls. I've heard that girl crying. I hear his cell phone hum through the wall. So I didn't even fucking think about it. I'm sitting right by the wall and singing Triumph at the top of my lungs. At 4 a.m, and fucking poor Lou comes over in boxer shorts. I mean, it must have been that. You know what I picture? I picture him laying in bed and hearing all of Hold On. All right? He hears all of Hold on to your dream. And he hears me ruining it. Okay? And I'm going through and I'm singing it. And again, he has no music and no context. All he hears is me doing a cappella version of Hold On. And he's laying in bed and he's like, this motherfucker, I tell you what, he's got a fucking, all right, fine. And then Hold On ends. And he's laying there, and then and all of a sudden, because again, there's no music, he can't hear the song switch, and then he just hears, you know the sun is in your eyes, and he's like, oh, motherfucker, you gotta be kidding me. And he fucking gets out of bed and pounds on my door. He sat through all of Hold On, it's like a 5-minute song. He heard the whole thing and finally went, finally, it's over. And then immediately I started to sing another song like a minute later, and it was enough to get him out of bed to tell me to shut up. Jesus Christ. He's going to move now. I won't be, you know what? I will not be happy until I'm the only person left in this apartment complex. And then they can't evict me because they'll need me because I'm the only one paying fucking rent no matter how late it is. Walking around with fucking earbuds on singing, having a good time by myself at 4 a.m. Ha ha, nobody can tell me what to do. Oh, wait, you woke up your fucking neighbor. Dumbass. And the only thing I wish is like, because he was fucking, because he was really nice about it, but he was so fucking mad. He just swears all the time anyway. Yeah, Mike, you got to fucking stop with this yelling and the singing or whatever the fuck you're doing. You just woke me up and I tried to get back to sleep and then you just kept singing. I'm just telling you, you just got to stop. Just do me a favor. Just stop. If you do it at daytime, it's fine. But at fucking night, you can't do that. You just got to stop. And I'm like, the whole time I'm just like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just kept repeating because I was so embarrassed. But you know what I should have said? I should have just looked at him and said, hey, you know what, Lou? If this was hey jealousy, you wouldn't be over here fucking complaining. You would have been fucking, you would have loved every second of it because goddamn can I belt that song out. You would have just sat up in bed and you would have tell me you think it'd be all right. That's not bad actually. You may have come over and joined in because quite frankly, when I sing that song, it sounds like people should join me. We should have a chorus, a choir, a Gin Blossoms choir. Yeah, I'm dangerous with the earbuds, man. It's terrible. Because I do stupid shit. Here's what I did. Another thing I did is so stupid. It's not even worth telling you this because it sounds like, but it's just stupid shit you do. I was getting undressed to go to sleep, and I had my earbuds on, and I didn't want to take them off because the song "Copperhead Road" by Steve Earle was on, which is a fucking jam. Steve Earle's a fucking jam. It's funny. Mike Siegel told me a story. We were in Portland. I'll tell you about Portland in a minute, but we were in Portland and we were eating a hot dog somewhere, and I don't know why. Oh, you know why? Because the Wait came on the jukebox by the band, and I like that song, but I love The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. I love that song. I have like 8 different versions of it, like the Black Crowes and all these different versions. It's just a cool song. And then it starts playing, and Mike Siegel goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, I saw them do this at Levon Helm's house." I'm like, what? And Levon Helm used to do a thing called the Levon's Rumble or something. And I guess they did it once. There was a fire and all of his stuff burned up. So as a benefit once, they did a show in a barn. And it was Levon Helm and a bunch of his famous friends, and people bought tickets, and it was a benefit, and they made all. So then it became a tradition, and it was a hard ticket to get. And somehow Siegel knew a Chicago comic who knew the guy who did craft services And Siegel got a ticket, and he's sitting in Levon Helm's barn watching Levon Helm and Steve Earle. And he's just telling the story like, yeah, that happened. And I'm like, that's the greatest fucking story I've ever heard in my life. How have I not heard this fucking story? And he's like, what? No, it was really fun, man. It was just amazing to be sitting there. And I'm like, yes, it is. So why don't you tell that story to everyone you've ever met? That's my lead. I lead with that story. So I'm listening to Copperhead Road in my house, and there's the because it starts out and it's just literally just the kind of it's got the little mandolin playing, and there's the vocal, and that's another song I'll sing because I'm really good. I'm not as good as Steve Earle, but I'm very close. I'm no Levon Helm. Well, actually, I will tell you that I'm better than Levon Helm is now. That's the extent of my musical talent. But then there's the line, you can smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road, and then it kicks in with the boom, boom, and the fucking guitar and the drum. And I was getting undressed, and I took my jeans off, and I'm standing there, and I'm taking my belt out of my jeans because I got to throw them in the basket to wash them. And I take the belt off, and it goes, you smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. And I pulled the belt out, and I fucking smacked myself with the belt, like super hard. And I was like, ow! I probably still have it, like this long red fucking thing on my inner thigh, because that's where I hit myself. Because I was standing there, I'm pulling the belt off, and it was like, you smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road, and you pump your fist on this one part, and I went, bah! And I fucking slapped the fucking belt, and I whipped myself in the leg to the point where I left a long red mark. And I even yelped, I'm like, ah! And I looked at, and then, you're standing there in your underwear with the fucking belt hitting yourself, and I'm like, what is... At that point, just put it around your neck and hang it from the shower. Honestly, at that point. You already got yelled at 3 hours previously by your neighbor because you're singing Triumph, and now you've mortally wounded yourself hitting yourself with a fucking belt to Steve Earle. You dumbass. See what happens when your wife leaves? You ruin everybody's day. So now my leg hurts. And but it didn't stop me though. I mean, I just wear my iPod all the time now. Like, and it's funny, because there are people who listen to the show and they wear their iPod all the time. Our friend Sarah J, who listened to the show, wears her iPod all the time, and our friend Jill in Milwaukee, I know she wears her iPod all the time. Huh?
Weird to me.
There are people who listen to like a million podcasts and they listen to a lot of shows. Like I think who else is it who told me that they wear their AirPod like constantly? They just have it on all day. I don't remember. But, some people listen to the car in the iPod vagina, but a lot of people just wear their iPod all day because they work. Our friend David in Detroit, he's on the line. So he's on the line in a fucking Ford factory or whatever. And when he's not putting, a small tin can with nuts and bolts in the door to drive you crazy, he's building cars listening to me talk. Although he was mad at me because I was talking about hockey yesterday, and on my Facebook page, he's just like, calm down. Like, he wrote this thing. It was like so weird. Because the Blackhawks played yesterday and they won a game, and I was like, yeah, and I put it on Facebook, and he wrote, calm down, they still got to win 15 more games. It's like, what? Oh, okay, Dave, who likes my show, why are you yelling at me about hockey? Thought we were pals. You bought 94 shirts for me, and now you're yelling at me about a hockey game? What the fuck? See, that's what you people do. You people turn on me, and I don't even see it coming. You do a flip-flop. You do a 180 on me. And then I think we're all pals and we're all friends, and then you cross the line. You don't really cross the line, but I'm so stupid that I think you do, because that's the thing. This happened. Here's a guy. Guy writes me on Twitter the other day. I'm in my house, and I get a tweet, and he's just like, dude, the guy on Wheel of Fortune tonight is an East Coast version of you, this guy Joe. And so I wrote him, and I'm like, wow, I taped it. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll definitely watch it. He's like, oh, you got to watch it. At one point, someone like leaves him hanging on a high five. It's hysterical. But this guy's totally you. And I'm like, all right, cool. Because I've been taping it, and I watch it, and so it turns out it's the first show of New York Week. And I hit play, and I'm watching it. And I see the guy that he thinks is me. And I know, because it's a guy and two chicks. And they start playing the game, and this guy just starts yelling. Like yelling letters and yelling and clapping and going, big money, no wheel, don't stop wheel. And he's screaming and he's yelling to the crowd and he's pointing and I'm watching and I go, is that what people think I am? Really? This guy's fucking horrible. because I hated him. I'm watching him the whole time, and I'm like, and it's so funny. Guys like, dude, he's totally the East Coast version of you. And then I see the guy, he's wearing this ill-fitting suit. He looks like a high school gym teacher, who grabbed his only blazer, and he had big fucking thick horn rim glasses and a crew cut. It looked like Vince Lombardi was on the Wheel of Fortune, and he's out there fucking yelling at people. And I'm like, that's what I come off as? I'm handsome, charming, and loved. At least I thought I was. This guy's about, and I even wrote the guy on Twitter. I go, wait a minute, you think I'm this guy? This guy's as charming as a fucking thumb in the eye. Are you serious? I got to switch gears if this is what people think I am. And then I feel stupid because the guy was just trying to have fun. So then he writes me back and he's just like, well, no, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention. I'm just saying that he was kind of playing to the crowd like you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess I see that, but this guy is a fucking meathead. I mean, it's just terrible. He was an awful, it's that thing, it's like when someone comes up to you and they're like, oh, dude, you totally look like, there's a famous person you look like. And you're like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, you know who you look like? Robert Prosky. You know, that's exactly who you look like. And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to run into a fucking flame wall. Are you serious? That's who I look like? That's why I never say that to anybody unless it's going to be an improvement. Like it's going to be somebody who's really good looking. Like if you see somebody and they look like a ball sack wearing a hat. I mean, it's just... someone grim who looks just like a fucking Shar-Pei that became sentient and walks on its hind legs, and they look horrible, but you're going to tell them they look like Brad Pitt. You have to. That's the thing, because you can't just go, dude, you look like a ball sack with a hat on. That's fucking terrible. Nobody wants to hear that. So it's like when people tell me that, like he said, I reminded him of this dude, and and again, I'm protective of me. I know that sounds stupid to say, like, because I think, look, I have a high opinion of myself. I think we all know that. And I think I'm funnier and charming and I'm all those things. And I guess maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a thumb in the eye too. I have no fucking idea. But so I wrote the dude on Twitter and I'm just like, yeah, this guy's a meathead. Like, I mean, and so then the guy was like, look, I just, I kind of watched it half-assed and as I watched the show and I go, and dude, you recognize that Pat hates this guy, right? I'm continuing my conversation on Twitter. I read him on Twitter and I go, and also, Pat hates this guy. You can see that he hates him clearly. We all know Pat and I will be friends at the end of my show, right?
Yeah.
So now I need validation from this guy. Like I'm writing him this on Twitter. And now he's probably sick of hearing from me, but I can't believe that he thinks, because I'm watching the show while I'm tweeting it, and it's just getting worse. Because I'm not joking when I say Pat hated him. And also, he was playing to the crowd, but in a completely doofus way. I mean, he had that weird, he looked like a 1950s boxing trainer. You know what I mean? Just a fucking crew cut. He looked like Hank Hill from King of the Hill, like come to life. His whole face looked like a box of donuts. Just like fucking weird rounded bumps and oh God, it was so fucking terrible. And so I'm thinking that guy thinks I look like him and I act like him. And the people hate him clearly. And he's reaching out to the crowd. He's going, yeah, yeah. And he's like putting his hands in there and he's high-fiving other fucking contestants. And I'm like, but not with any panache at all. Like none. He didn't bring head in the game at all to it. Granted, he didn't smack anybody in the ass, but still, it was just. So I'm watching it, and I'm seeing it through the prism of this is what other people think I am, and so I'm horrified by it because I hate that fucking guy, and so I'm tweeting the guy who wrote me, and he's fucking, like I said, he's tired of hearing from me. So then I decided, in my head, I actually kind of got the reins a little bit. I grabbed him and I go, you're going off the rails. You need to fucking calm down. So then I wrote the dude, and I'm just like, I tried to salvage it, and I go, on the bright side, I am killing these puzzles. All of these prizes belong to me, all of them. And then the guy writes me back, and he goes, yeah, so is my 9-year-old. Hey, I reached out to you, motherfucker. You told me I look like a big toe. And I wrote it out, and then I tried to be funny at the end of it, and now I'm your 9-year-old?
Oh my God.
So then I wrote him back, and I'm like, this is really taking on kind of a mocking tone at this point, but... And then in my head, I go, why are you fighting with this guy? Stop fighting with this guy. He doesn't even know we're fighting, but you're fighting with him because you're mad that he thinks you're a fist with glasses on. So I wrote him back, and I go, this took on kind of a mocking tone. And then to save it at the end, I just wrote, well, let's just hope your 9-year-old isn't on the show when I'm on because I really need to win this thing. And then we had, there was like, and then he kept talking to me. Like I think we talked for an hour on Twitter. I'm like, it's the longest I've talked to anybody since my wife left. Really, I found this stranger on Twitter who, you know why? Because I wanted to try almost to validate that I was still cool and funny. Like, it was so bad because I felt that he saw me in that person who was just a fucking whiff. I mean, he was like a cinder block with a shirt on. He was just so fucking terrible. And I'm like, I'm not that guy. I have like personality. I'm kind of charming, right? I'm interesting. I'm actually better looking than that guy. Like, I'm trying to validate myself to this stranger who I don't even know his name. He's across the country dealing with me via Twitter, 140 characters at a time. This guy's ruining me. And he doesn't know that he is. He's not even trying to. But then part of me goes, you know what? Maybe he is trying to. You know what this guy did? This guy negged me. He's like a Twitter pickup artist. He totally negged me. That's what he does. He goes to podcasters and he negs them and he gets them to try to fucking spin out of it, and then he winds up taking over their shows or dating them or stealing their money. Whatever the fuck pickup artists do. I don't know what Mysterio does. What the fuck is that guy's name? Who are all those idiots with the top hats and the fucking gold chains? Every time I flip around and I see those guys, I'm just like, who would ever deal with these people on a real level? That one dude is like teaching people how to be pickup artists, and he's like he looks like, all right, the band Jellyfish, who I love, when they first went out on tour, they wore these ridiculous costumes. I've told the story. They opened for the Black Crowes, and the Black Crowes showed up at the Pacific Amphitheater when I was working. I was bouncing, and their bus opened, and the Black Crowes they get off the bus, and they're wearing like green, bright sweaters, and one of them had a pig on a leash. Like, they walked off the bus, and they're just like, oh, I can't believe everybody keeps looking at us. You have a pig on a leash, motherfucker. Of course people are going to look at you. So whenever I see those pickup artist dudes, I'm like, how did they get date one? That dude's wearing a top hat and fucking eyeliner. He looks like Russell Brand's stunt double, and he's fucking tricking girls into fucking him somehow. God damn it, with all the work and the legwork I put into getting laid, and all those dudes have to neg somebody. But then I realized on Twitter, it worked. He negged me, and I'm sitting there going, oh, dude, I'm cool, I'm funny. I'm not this fucking idiot who looks like a dumbass, right? Right? Jesus Christ. Is it any wonder that I hide in my earbuds, folks? Is it any wonder that I climb into my fucking tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds and hide from the world? I'm getting negged over the internet. I'm getting racist Lou pounding on my door at 4 a.m. and fucking yelling at me because he doesn't deal with the fact that I sing Triumph very well. Just because he can't deal with a 4 o'clock in the morning performance of Schmitty and the Angry Inch. That's not on me, Lou. That's on you, buddy. You want to fucking lay in bed and I'm giving you a concert for free. Don't you understand? People pay for the privilege of hearing my voice, motherfucker. And you get it for free and you're going to fucking waddle over and tell me that I'm wrong? Bullshit. What is with people? Why can't they recognize that I'm the man? I don't get it. I was working the Monday Night Tease the other day. I'm at the door. A dude walks up and he pays. And I go, all right, it's, $15. And he goes, I recognize your voice. I said, yeah? He goes, 40-year-old boy? I said, yeah. And he goes, oh my God, my name is Scott. Dude, I totally love your show. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. He goes, oh, I can't stop listening to it. It was so great. For the first 2 years, that's all I did was listen to your show. Where you been the last 4 years, Scott? What the fuck happened? He's like, oh my God, I love your show. It's so great. I couldn't stop listening to it for the first 2 years. But he never told me why he gave up after the first 2 years. Like, I want to know why, but I don't want to ask it because then I look like some fucking weird, needy dude. But guess what? I'm a weird, needy dude. So I'm just going, all I could do is be nice. And he could not stop complimenting me. And he introduced me to his girlfriend. And he acted like he was meeting somebody of some import, which is, he was not at all. But I told him, and he goes, how's that show going? And I go, well, we just started year 6, like a week ago. He's like, no way, that's so awesome. Yeah, those first 2 years, I loved it. I'm like, well, quit telling me that. Are you waiting for me to ask what you hated about the next 4 years? I don't get it. And he just was, and then he went and sat down, and then he came back, and he's like, oh my God, that story where you were in a 7-Eleven, where, that story is the greatest. I've actually told that story to people. I said, that's awesome. Thanks, Scott. It's nice to meet you. And he goes, yeah. And he walks away. And then he comes back later, and I'm working the door, like I'm helping people, and he goes, oh, dude, that story where that guy got shot in the face, like, there was like BB guns, and there was a thing where a guy got shot. I go, yeah, I actually have done that story on stage. He goes, oh, that's cool. You're doing stage stuff? I go, yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah, man, I loved that first 2 years. And he walks away again. So then part of me thought, you know what, I was getting negged by that guy in person now. I'm wondering if he walked off of Twitter and showed up in person just to neg me. I have nemesis, folks. I didn't think I'd have nemesis. I thought I was universally loved. Again, handsome, charming, and loved. But now it turns out I have nemesis on Twitter and nemesis in person who are making me feel less than, who are making me feel like I'm not worth it, for fuck's sake. And I put this show out for you guys. I do this show for free for you. I want them all on board. I want Scott on board. I want Lou on board. I want this guy on Twitter on board. I want East Coast me on board. I don't give a fuck. I'll crawl out of my earbuds once a week to give you a show. That's what I do, folks. I do this show for the common man, for the people in despair. I bring this show into the world and I sell it everywhere. The simple truth lies waiting here, folks, for all of you to share. Hold on. I will take you there. Lou, Twitter guy, Scott, East Coast me. Hold on. I will take you there. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can, I should have sang that, actually. You would have seen. Oh, brilliant. You guys can get me at Facebook.com/the40year-old boy and be my friend there. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. You can be our friend Dave Hernandez. You can be his friend on Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. You can be our friend Lily Von Stup's friend at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stup. You can follow her at 2 different Twitter accounts. Twitter.com/Lily Von Stup and Twitter.com/MNTs. Let's throw a third one into the mix, Twitter.com/FN And if you want to write her a personal note and you want to find out about that lump that she keeps telling me about the whole time I've been sitting here and where it's located, you can get her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com. How mean is that? You know, it's funny. Bill Gorgo, I haven't seen him in 18 years. He has no idea. I just took his head off in a fucking ballroom before Murph and the Magic Tones come on. And until then, don't go change it.
Schmitty Comes Alive. Available only on the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs in Santa Monica and Vine. It's funny, I'm sitting here and I'm not happy with the show. I don't know where I'm at. I need to leave. I know it sounds stupid, but I just finished talking and I'm looking at Lily and she's tired of me, like, because I'm in her house and I'm looking for validation anywhere that I can get it. So I'm talking and I'm saying open-ended phrases into the air, and she refuses to fucking validate me. She's just like reading her computer, and so I'm talking into space, and I'll leave it like it hanging there because I want her to just go, "It's okay." That's all I'm looking for. Is someone to go, "It's okay," and that's not happening. So I literally just now said 4 things and got complete silence, and she's just reading her. She wouldn't even look at me. She's reading the fucking computer, and so I'm just gonna leave. I gotta get the fuck out of here. So remember the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs in Santa Monica and Vine. I happen to know the producer of that show. She's my friend. I don't know if she's talking to me now. She wasn't talking to me a second ago, but perhaps she'll talk now. My friend Lily Von Stup. Hey, Lily.
Hi, Michael.
How are you?
I'm good.
Fantastic. Last week's show was I was there. It was good. It was a great show. Our friend FunnyEddie.com was the host, and he did a fantastic job as I worked the door. I don't know if I told you guys, I met a guy named Scott there who liked the show for a couple of years. He was great. And Lily was there and working the door. Hey, I wanted to ask you. I should ask you this off the air, so I won't ask you now. Forget it. No, I can't, because it's nobody will be interested at all to hear it. It's a question. It's literally no. It's not about the show.
No.
You use that stupid credit card thing on your phone. Does that work?
Yes, it works fabulous.
And you like it?
I highly recommend Square.
All right, because I mean, I was debating whether or not to get it, even though I'm not doing any more live dates ever. But I thought that I could use it in the future if something ever happens in my life that allows me to leave my apartment again. So your show was great this week. Eddie was really good, and it was a lot of hot girls. I was usually it's a weird balance that you have of like hot girls and then magicians and all that kind of stuff. But this time you had the ballroom dancing people, which is really good.
They were amazing.
Yeah, that was fun.
He's a professional mind of all things.
Yeah, those 2 words don't go together.
Yeah.
But
They do, actually.
no, you can be an advanced mime. You can be a qualified mime. You can be an expert mime. But a professional mime would indicate that somehow you were making a living being a mime, and that's not happening ever.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, good for him. I actually enjoyed his mime for the first 2 years. I thought it was fantastic. Could not get enough of it. So that was a great show. Actually, I enjoyed it. It was fun. And then this week's show is the very important Maidana show. Kicking off May with Maidana. It's a tradition at the Monday Night Teas. Hey, who's hosting that show?
I'm not sure yet. It's supposed to be me.
But you're trying to pan that off on someone else. Trying to peddle it off.
I tried. You won't do it.
I will not do it. No, it's too.
But you
It's,
gave me such a great introduction last Friday night. I'm like, God damn it! I want him to host more.
well, that's all I do is introduce. I mean, I can introduce people. If you just want me to introduce people, I can do that. But if people,
do like you do it for Tarantino.
nobody wants that. That's the thing.
That's how I do it. I tell a little bit about the
Yes.
songs, some backstory, and then I bring it up.
Because they love you. That's the thing is everybody's there to see our friend Lily Von Stupp, who runs the show and is the buxom, foul-mouthed godmother of burlesque. However, when I show up, they're just like, why is the doorman talking? They're like, dude, I liked this guy for the first 2 years of his hosting, but I tell you, I haven't paid attention to the last 4 at all. I have to be honest.
Work the door, and then I host.
Yeah, but you're you. You're gregarious and you have big tits. I mean, literally, that's what people. That's all they want at your show. If I work the door and then I go up on stage, everybody's like, "Dude, why are we listening to the doorman talk? Why is that happening?" And it wouldn't matter how good I was. It wouldn't matter if I was flashy or smart or interesting. People would still go, "Hey, that's the doorman." And then that's why I can't cross that threshold. Now I've become the doorman. I can't possibly be the host again. Literally all of the cachet I had as being a performer is gone once I started working the door. Even with the dancers, because the dancers, it used to be, oh my gosh, you're so funny, and now it's just like, oh, you're here again. See, it's that thing. Trust me, familiarity breeds contempt, and the fact that I'm there every week, people are just like, not a fan. However, I am a fan of the show, and Maidana is always a huge hit, and so you're hosting, and who else is performing?
Jezebel doing Human Nature. Lux is bringing back Vogue. We have a new one this year. We have Sheila Starr doing La Isla Bonita,
Alrighty.
which I just massacred.
No, I think you did it correctly.
Which I'm very excited about. Yeah, it's going to be a good show again.
Amazing.
Scarlett's coming back doing Scarlett. Now she's going back to Orgasm. Scarlett Orgasm.
Okay.
She was Scarlett O'Kelju for a while.
Right.
She's doing Material Girl with her amazing boa made out of plastic bottles. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun. Now, what does Kelju mean?
Juicy.
Like in French?
Like a steak, yeah. You can order a steak au Kelju with the juices on the side.
But I mean, with a side of jus.
Yes.
But au Kelju is what, a different language?
Kelju is what they call it, yes.
But it's like French or something?
It's actually, yes.
And then she went back to Scarlet Orgasm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which I always thought was funnier.
is she looking for funny or is she looking
She's
for
red, and
juicy steak name?
She's got red hair and she's Irish, and so the orgasm and the au jus was always. It's actually au jus is how it's pronounced. It's spelled A-U when you're ordering it on the menu, but she's
Right, au jus.
Au jus, as in.
But what's the kel part? That's what I don't understand. Au jus, I get. I don't get au kel jus.
She made it Irish.
What's the kel part?
The Irish part.
No. The O is because it's au jus. But she made it au jus, which I get. That's Irish. But the kel means nothing. I'm glad she dropped it. She went back to Scarlet O'Kelgasm. So good for her.
No, now it's Scarlet O'Gasm.
No, throw in the kel. Why not?
No.
You want a
No,
clunky
I
kel?
think
If
so.
you're going to take a clunky
Okay.
kel, throw in a different clunky kel. If you're going to keep, honestly, if you invent a clunky kel, keep it and throw it into every fucking name. Scarlet O'Kelgasm. I like it. Oh, you back on the computer and ignoring me?
I'm looking it up to see if Kelju is something in specific. I can't spell it.
I don't know. Who cares? Nobody cares.
I care. Everybody cares.
Sure they do.
Yes.
Not
anyway,
after this
not
week.
on Monday.
No, they're fleeing in terror after this week. So Maidana is that, and then you've got a show Friday, which is tomorrow night. You've got the Friday Night Happy Hour, which is going to be a lot of fun, and it's Stella Detroit. I understand will be
Detroit
there.
is performing.
Micah
Tina
Cover?
Bonito is performing.
Yes.
Micah is doing magic. I got a couple more. I can't remember off the top of my head.
And you're hosting, and it'll be fun and exciting. And I was there. Yeah, it'll be
We're
fantastic.
Sponsors, so we're going to be having specials on blowjobs all night long.
Nice. O'Kel blowjobs? Really, head in the hands? I get head in the hands.
You get total face palm.
Earlier, you were staring at the computer and you paid no attention to me, and now instead I get a face palm.
Listening to you.
Yeah, but you're supposed to validate me. That's the whole point. I'm throwing stuff out there
My job is
because
not to validate
yes, it is.
you.
That
My
is your
is to laugh
job.
when it's funny.
No.
And we were just carrying on a conversation.
If we're
You
off
don't
microphone,
want
we're friends. And when you see me struggling and swimming and drowning, throw me a
I
life
thought
preserver.
you were just venting and bitching and moaning.
Yeah,
Like,
which I'm doing. So
no,
then tell me I'm okay. Tell me I'm not.
You are okay. You're always okay. Get out of your fucking head and do what you do. You're brilliant.
Nah,
You're a
well, I don't need
genius.
all that part. I just need you to just go, hey, it's okay.
mental?
Because nothing's okay anymore, and I know nothing's
Shitty.
okay. Yeah,
all
well,
gonna be okay.
sure it is. Of
Do you want
course
me
it
to-
is.
Do you want me to slap you? Snap out of it.
Oh yeah, what? Yeah, let's go Moonstruck. That'd be a good plan. All right. So
Funny.
yeah, but
And
not.
people like you.
I don't need
At
that.
least for 2 years.
That yeah, for 2 years, and then they turn tail and run. Which is fine. That's okay. Give me, you know what, folks? Everybody, give me 2 years. That's all I want. Give me 2 years. If I haven't turned your, and that's the thing, he loved it for 2 years. That's the thing that's so weird to me. I loved it. Oh my God, I couldn't stop listening for 2 years. Well, then what happened? So the last 3, just adios.
Maybe he met a girl.
She was cute. The girl he was with,
He met the girl, and that was it.
and she told him to stop.
No, he's spending that time every week fucking instead of listening to the podcast.
Well, I wish we all were, right? Don't you think that would be the smart move?
Maybe.
All right. So the Monday Night Tease is every Monday night. The Friday Night Happy Hour is every Friday night. And there's plenty of shows coming up. So go to brownpapertickets.com for all of the the information.
Tickets.
Yeah, for ticket information for all of those shows. Enter Lily Von Stup's name or Monday Night Tease or Friday Night Happy Hour, and you'll find all of the tickets there. Hey, while you're there at Brown Paper Tickets, folks, let's throw this in your lap. I'm going to be in Detroit next week.
Woohoo!
Mount Clemens, Michigan at the Box Theater. The show is Saturday night, May 11th. And, hey, why don't we buy some tickets? That would be kind of cool since this is now my job. So I would love it if you guys went ahead and bought tickets and validated the fact that I had a job. Yeah, again, that's all I want, folks. Validate me. Validate me. Don't neg me on Twitter. Don't fucking sit here and stare at your computer when I'm reaching out to you for help. Just validate me via your dollars and your cents and your ticket purchases and all of that sort of stuff. So come see me in Detroit. I know there's going to be people there that have already contacted me and said they're going to be there. I will have shirts with me, but they are running scarce. But hopefully they will be shirts that you want to purchase. I would love to sell them to you. And people have asked me about new shirts. Yeah, that's a cool idea. But right now, I'm in a situation where I won't be having any more shirts. Just for now. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks and months. But right now, there is no Year 6 shirt, but it's been discussed. Let's put it that way. But right now, no. But there are still some Red Boy shirts available. So if you want those, you can order them through the Joe Business page. You go to the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. First of all, if you want to donate to the show, you can click on the little Schmitty up in the upper left-hand corner of every page there at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You can donate for $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, or $25 a month, or you can make a one-time donation to the show, and it would be appreciated very much. And you can also go to the Joe Business page. You can get the mugs that we have there, the Zazzle mugs from Thorgar and Yeet mugs and the Fireboy mug. Tweakedaudio.com/40 always sponsors this show, and they are so great with me, and they send me earbuds and stuff. And I will tell you this. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Hold on. I will tell you there's artwork available for sale, autographed artwork, autographed by me and Lily and David Hernandez. There is the Schmitty Comes Alive download available right now for sale. And that's a $5 download of me live at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival last October. And as I mentioned, there are some shirts available now. Let's talk about the download sets really quick. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, and now Year 5 are available, $25 each, or you can buy the UN of Evil box set, and that's all 5 years for the price of 4, just $100. You get the liner notes for every year. The first 2 years had liner notes for every episode, but then after that, there's just an introductory letter from me in the lyrics tab of the first episode for 3, 4, and 5. The interludes are included, all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and pick up those, the UN Evil box set, or the Year 5, Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4. All of those are available right now for you to purchase there. Now, there's a deal, and I mentioned it last week. The first 46 people who bought a Year 5 or a UN of Evil box set were going to get something from tweakedaudio.com/40. If you bought just a Year 5 box set, a Year 5 download, you would get a set of earbuds from tweakedaudio.com/40. If you buy the UN of Evil box set, you will not only get a set of earbuds, but I said you would get a cock ring watch. Now, there's been a change in your program, folks. Because tweakedaudio.com/40 is out of cock ring watches.
What?
Because of apparently the gay porn industry went crazy for them.
Holy cow.
And realized how good your cock looks with a huge thing of green plastic around it. And people want to tell cock time, as we all know. So here's the thing. If you buy a Year 5, you get a set of earbuds. If you get a UN of Evil box set, you have a choice. You can get 2 sets of tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds, or you can get a set of earbuds and then 50% off something there at the tweakedaudio.com/40 site. I will throw that choice out to you. When you do make your purchase, I will write you a note to confirm your address for Tweaked, and then I will also ask what you want, and then I will tell them and all that kind of stuff. And there are still, that deal still is available. I will tell you that. I wouldn't. What if it wasn't? What if? What if last week I had gotten rid of all of them, and I'm telling you all this now, only to tell you that you can't go ahead and get that deal any longer? No, that's horseshit. That deal is available. And by the way, if you did make a purchase already, please know that I have your information. I'll be sending you a note to confirm your address. I was just trying to sort out with Tweaked exactly what we were going to give away. So the deal is, like I said, it'll be 50% off something there at the website, and a set of earbuds if you buy a You and Evil box set. If you buy the Year 5 download set, you get a set of tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds. So please know that I will write you and I will get you information, and we'll send that off to Tweaked and get that all squared away. And that deal is still available. So go ahead and buy a Year 5 download set. Go ahead and buy a You and Evil box set, and buy anything there on the Joe Business page, and I will be so happy, and I will be your friend forever. And also, while you're there, folks, guess what? We have devised yet another way to get into your wallet, folks. We have devised another way to steal money from you, to trick you into sending us cash. Although this was not my idea. This was actually your idea. So that's right. I dump it back into your lap, folks. By popular demand, by people who wrote me, you know who you are. After the interlude came out 2 weeks ago, people wrote me, and people have always asked if they could buy the Christmas songs and all that sort of stuff. Well, those aren't whole songs. Everybody asks about the snippets, and as we know now, that since David's been hit by a fucking apocalyptic flood, he's not going to be cutting any of those songs. But people wrote me, and then they said, hey, man, I would really love to buy the For the Life of Schmitty. I had people actually who donated expressly because of the interlude. They were very nice, and they said, hey, I feel like I should donate something for that because it was so good. And so we've decided to sell For the Life of Schmitty as a single. We've taken it out of the actual interlude. So the interlude itself was really long, but we took the single, which was the final song of the interlude, For the Life of Schmitty, and we are offering it for sale at the website. It is $129, and it won't be an immediate download. You buy it, and then I'll just have to send it to you. And don't freak out on me, because people will buy stuff, and then I'm out, and then I come home like a couple hours later, and they're like, "Dude, what's going on? You stole my $1.29." And it's like, no, I will send it to you now. I just walked in the door. You know who really leads the charge on that? Scott. He writes me, he's like, oh my God, I've been waiting 3 years for this. So right now, like I said, at Joe Business page, Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, Year 5, the You and Evil box set, autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds, and cock ring watches from tweakedaudio.com/40, although I think cock ring watches are not available. At least that's what I've been told. Remember, Year 5 gets you earbuds. Yeah, the You and Evil box set gets you earbuds and either another set of earbuds or a 50% discount code. Autographed artwork. Schmitty Comes Alive download. Some Red Boy shirts are still available. Some Older City shirts available. If you guys are interested in that, I talked about that before. And the newest thing is the For the Life of Schmitty single edit, which is available now. Buy it today. Download it tomorrow. Listen to it forever. Hey, I should tell you this. I did a podcast with my friend Ken, and I think his co-host was Brian. Is that who it was? I haven't met Brian. I haven't met Ken either, but I've done Ken's podcast before. But this is a new one he has. It's called the MMA Dude Bro Podcast, I believe. I don't know, because here's the thing. He gave me the link to it, and then I went to iTunes, and it was in something called the Rock Podcast Network. I have no clue. I'm Keep It Indie with Mike Schmidt. That's what we all know about me. So when you're in a network and you're in a forest of titles, I don't know what to call it. But as far as I know, their podcast is called the MMA Dude Bro Podcast. And they had me on last weekend to talk about UFC 159, and we talked about that. And I'll be honest with you, I think I'm going to be on this podcast a lot. That's what it seemed like when they were talking to me. And talking about MMA and talking about the UFC and stuff like that. And we got along. It was fine. I think we're on phones and whatever the fuck, but I had a good time with them. I did they do the Milk of Minutia podcast, and I did that a while ago. And now this is a new podcast that Ken has called the MMA Dude Bro Podcast. And I was on there, and we got to talk about Chael Sonnen and John Jones and eye pokes and all sorts of stuff. So, and I was mad because I didn't get to talk. We didn't even get to talk about the best fight of the card. last week UFC 159, this guy Pat Healy fought Jim Miller. And those names mean nothing to you if you don't know anything about UFC. But if you go and find them and find their pictures, the best part about them, it looked like a guy fighting a mirror. Like, remember when Lucy did Harpo and Harpo was there in the doorway? What if they had a fight? Like, that's what it looked like. Because these dudes looked exactly like one another. And the best part is, they had crazy beards and bald heads. It looked like they were fighting on a train car in the 1800s. I mean, they were just these fucking old school dudes who came off of a cough drop box to have a fight in a cage. Like, it was fucking genius. And it was a great fight. It was the best fight of the card because the card stunk out the place. It was fucking terrible. But that fight was great. So if you want to see Pat Healy fight Jim Miller and see two old prospectors fighting over a nugget of gold, go ahead and tune it in because that's exactly what it looked like to me. It was fucking great. So check me out on the MMA Dude Bro podcast. Search it in iTunes. I'm sure you'll find it there. And I also tweeted the link and I had it on my Facebook page. But you'll find it, right? You'll go look because that's what you do. You don't give up on me after 2 years and bail. No, you go ahead and dedicate yourself to finding all of my appearances and finding out where I'm at. And I'll tell you this, by the way, also, if anybody wants to come to Detroit but they can't afford it or they don't have any cash, our friend Kathy, who's in China, and thought she was going to be in home for the show, is not. And she actually bought a ticket, and then she threw it up on the Westside 86 Jokers page that anybody who wanted it can claim the ticket in her name. So if somebody wants to come to the Detroit show and they find themselves kind of strapped, I'm still trying to sell tickets, obviously, but Kathy bought tickets, and there's no reason it should go to waste. So go to the Westside 86 Jokers page on Facebook and try to find it. And Kathy put up a post about it. So go ahead and check that out. And unless somehow she gets home from China by then, because she's on a very slow boat, folks. That's awful. That's like literally a joke from, you know what? That joke was popular when those two guys were fighting on a train car over a nugget of gold. That was awful to say. So anyway, check that out or write me and ask me about it and we'll figure it out. And I hope that boat picks it up, actually. Kathy's got to get to town because she's bringing back Bomb Pop and Chinese Rick. That's why she's in China. She went on a super secret mission to go find me my 2 future China babies. And they are going to be very upset when they find out they no longer have a mom. Oh my God, are they going to be pissed? They had a mom when she went over there. It was all exciting. She filed out the visas. She did all the paperwork for me. And now they're going to come to town and be like, hey, just you, idiot. And I'm going to be hiding in my earbud just going, yep, just me, idiot. That's all. But it'll be me, Bomb Pop, and Chinese Rick, and we'll sing at 4 in the morning. Now I'll have a chorus. That'll be perfect. All of us. See, Lou's just got to get on board. That's the thing is he just doesn't understand it.